There's a lot to talk about. Welcome back to the Team 12s podcast. I'm Team 12s, and today I'm going to be talking about the Rams-Bengals Super Bowl. So in this game, it was a great game all around. Rams defense played absolutely amazing. Bengals offense played really good. Rams offense played really good. Bengals pass rush was really good. Everybody in this game was really good, except for maybe Jalen Ramsey and Eli Apple. Ramsey got burnt twice for two massive plays with Jamar Chase burning him and getting a 46-yard reception with like a one-hand grab where he's falling to the side. And then T. Higgins, he does hit him with a little bit of a face mask, but Jalen Ramsey was going down. And on that final play of the game when Aaron Donald sacked Joe Burrow and he just tried tossing it, trying to get it out to the running back for a first down, Jalen Ramsey fell down and got burnt on that play. So Ramsey didn't have a good game. He's still best cornerback in the league. Played absolutely amazing this year like he does every single year. Then Eli Apple, you can't talk that much smack on the internet and Twitter and everything like that and then expect to not get burnt when you lose and you mess up a bunch. So Rams defense played absolutely amazing. I think Aaron Donald potentially should have won should have been the MVP of this game with that final tackle at the end and constantly getting pass rush even after being double teamed at the beginning of the game, getting a sack earlier in the game as well. Plus the rest of that pass rush. Von Miller had a great game. He ties the most amount of sacks in the Super Bowl with I forgot who, but ties most amount of sacks in the Super Bowl. Trey Hendrickson, despite being injured, comes in, plays a great game, gets a sack on the fourth play of the game, and then rest of the game kind of silent, but I was watching some replays and he did get double teamed nonstop on the play where Cooper Kupp had a touchdown. I was watching with one of my friends and he got shoved down onto the ground and then he got back up and then he got shoved back onto the ground by an offensive guard and an offensive tackle. So he was kind of getting bullied by two people nonstop. And then the Bengals offensive line, they got to address that this offseason. Joe Burrow can't get hit like that anymore. 7 sacks in any game is unacceptable. 7 sacks in the Super Bowl is horrifying. He was getting it out in like 1.9 seconds in this game. Gets injured, maybe slows down a little bit. Then he getting more pressure keeps coming at him. He was playing great this entire game. The only reason he didn't get sacked more was because he was throwing in under 2 seconds. Which is absolutely unbelievable that wide receivers can run the routes that fast and then Joe Burrow can get it off and throw it to them that fast. Then I really hope the Bengals don't go cheap on that offensive line and they don't do the Colts thing. It's going to be super hard for the Bengals to get back to the Super Bowl just in general, and it's going to be so much harder if they don't invest. I said that weird. If they don't invest into that offensive line this offseason. They have like $50 million in cap. Yes, they have some guys going like CJ Uzomah, who could be leaving. They probably will re-sign him, but you just got to invest a ton into that offensive line and maybe even a little bit into that secondary. Rams, they're in a weird spot this offseason. You got Matthew Stafford up for a contract extension soon. Cooper Kupp playing great. He still has like 2 years left on his contract. Then Jalen Ramsey, you don't have to worry about Jalen Ramsey. Aaron Donald said he might retire after this if they do win the Super Bowl, which they did. I think he probably comes back for 1-2 more years and then retires. At the most, he comes back for another 4 years in the NFL. But with him saying this early, 8 years into his career, I think he probably has 2 more years and then he retires. He's in the middle of his prime right now, so not really a massive point to retire unless he wants to go out on top. Von Miller, free agent this offseason. Then OBJ tears his ACL in this game. Where does he go if he does come back? He's coming back on a team-friendly deal. He's expressed that he's willing to do that, but he might not even play if he comes back to the team. So then Robert Woods, he's going to be back next season after like a partially torn ACL in the middle of the season. The Rams are just in a weird spot with almost no draft picks. They have no first-round draft picks for the next 2 years, including this one. Then they're in a weird spot with all the extensions they have coming up, all the free agents, all the people they've paid, all the people they haven't paid yet, all the amount of cap space that they don't have. they have like no cap space. So Rams are in a weird spot, but Bengals in a good spot for the future. Then even Sean McVay expressed that he might step away from football next year, this offseason, and go into the broadcast booth for a couple years. So in a weird spot for the Rams, with a lot of people kind of young and saying they might want to leave the game for a little bit because they want to spend time with their family or go to the broadcast booth or whatever it is. And I don't think this game was rigged because of the amount of people you'd have to pay off if it was rigged. But it is kind of upsetting that they threw so many flags on that last drive when the Bengals, that one play on the first one where it was an incomplete pass on like the first flag that was thrown. I don't think that should have been a flag. It was barely tugging on the guy's jersey. There was plays worse than that all game long, and they weren't throwing flags. So if you're going to throw flags at the end there, throw flags during the entire game, throw it consistently. But they did let him play for majority of that game. Cooper Kupp had an amazing reception for a touchdown. Then he got called back after he got rocked because of a flag on the offense. And then he ended up getting the game-winning touchdown, which was pretty cool to watch. I'm happy for Matthew Stafford getting the ring. The whole teams for both teams, Zach Taylor might not be the real thing. He might be a head coach that's being masked by Joe Burrow. There's a lot of things going on after this game, after the dust has settled, lots of questions. But I think the Rams next year, they're not going to be as good. Bengals this was supposed to be a rebuilding year, and you made it to the Super Bowl. So that's pretty exciting. But yeah, I think I've covered just about everything I wanted to cover. So if you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing. I'll have a link in my description for my Discord. And other than that, have a good rest of your day.